You are now listening to the Bullseye Podcast, brought to you by AFI Advisors. Sit back, get comfy, and keep all arms and legs inside the vehicle when in motion. And now, here is Josh, Peter, and Brian.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Bullseye Podcast, brought to you by AFI Advisors. I am Josh Shores. Today's episode is about building something that matters, not just starting a business, but creating a space that changes a community. Our guest is someone who saw a need in Greeneville and didn't just talk about it, she built it. Kathrine Hackler is the visionary behind Hackler Hall, a space that has quickly become a hub for connection, entrepreneurship, and local momentum. We're diving into her story, the realities of building in a small town, and what it really takes to turn vision into action. Kathrine, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Josh. I'm so excited to be here.
Are you terrified?
Very, extremely.
Well, here's the thing. Nothing to be scared about. We're just having a chat, right?
We're just having a chat. You and I have a rapport, so thank you for making me feel comfortable enough to speak about Hackler Hall on camera.
On camera. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming. We've known each other for a while, and I've been really impressed by what you've been able to accomplish. But before we get into all of that, you know, the business side of things is great, but you're also a mom.
Also a mom. A mom first.
Mom
actually.
First. Yeah. I get that. I'm dad first. So I get that. How old's your son?
He is 10.
10.
Yeah, we're double digits.
I saw him just the other day.
Yeah.
And such a polite young man.
He is. He's an old soul. So, I mean, it's like he's been here before. So, even though he's 10, he's very focused and just a pleasure to be around.
I have one of those too.
You do?
My son's an old soul.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, gosh.
Because in some way, it seems like he keeps me grounded in certain ways when life gets hectic and when, you know, the world seems like it's falling apart. He's kind of got this gravity toward him that keeps me grounded.
Yeah, he will bring it. Everything that's going on, it comes back into focus when you're looking your 10, 11, 12-year-old in the face and it's like, Mom, how was your day? Oh, it was great. How was your day?
Isn't it nice to just have someone ask you that?
Oh, my gosh. And he's so intentional and he waits for me to respond. And it's just at the end of the day, I look forward to it.
Yeah. And how many kids do you know, 10-year-olds, that ask you, how was your day?
Again, he is an old soul. It's like, oh, well, you know, today I had some challenges, but let me tell you, he's amazing. Yeah.
You guys like to travel a lot.
We do. So I had Carter later in life. So I think that, you know, I've lived, so I'll say that. So now for me, and he enjoys it too. So I understand that he's growing and he might not always want to hang out with Mom. Mm-hmm. So these years I cherish them. And if we can go, we go, we enjoy each other. We enjoy the same types of things. He likes older music. Well, he likes, you know, new music as well. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he enjoys spending time with me and I enjoy spending time with him. So whether it's Disney or it's a park or that's our thing.
Yeah. Nolan is getting ready to turn 13 in May. And we have kind of entered that sphere of he wants to hang out with friends.
Okay.
He wants to go do stuff.
How does that make you feel, Dad? Do you feel left out?
You know, it makes me a little sad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
It makes me a little sad. It's just funny how, you know, you grow up your whole life as a kid, as a teenager, and you have all of these adults telling you these little nuggets of wisdom. But as a kid, you just ignore it. It just rolls right, you know, one ear and out the other.
Sure.
But I'm learning as I age and as he ages that a lot of those things are true.
So true. Yeah.
I don't know if folks know, but you're from Greeneville.
Yeah, born and raised.
2 Greeneville kids here hanging out in Kingsport.
Yeah.
How do you see Greeneville now as someone who's in this stage of life compared to growing up?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So, and I have been home, I think this will be my 5th year. So coming home was interesting because a lot of things had remained the same. Actually, most things had remained the same. Neighborhoods, downtown. But I was looking at my hometown with a different set of eyes, being that I was most recently coming from Memphis. I'd lived in Maryland, worked in D.C. I'd kind of been, I'd lived. And so I was like, Mom, Dad, this house is still empty. Mom, Dad, this is not a restaurant. Mom, it was just my family with, all the things that I'm like, oh, I could just, Greeneville needs this, Greeneville needs that. And so in my journey coming home, it was, I flipped a couple of houses. I live in Mossheim, but all my business I conducted was in Greeneville. And I needed a place to work, meet with contractors. I'm at Lowe's and we're on site and I need to print this invoice. And I found myself at the library. You take a call, you got to go outside, or at the cafe, there's not a place to sit.
Sure.
It's crowded and maybe. So those are the challenges that I had moving home. But I'm like, man, Greeneville needs a place where I can just pop in or pop out. I don't need a brick and mortar. I don't need the overhead expense, but there has to be a place where I can just pop in, have a meeting, print, and meet with some other small businesses, entrepreneurs in and out. Because again, in my 20 years away, those spaces were everywhere.
Sure.
Downtowns, local spots where you could community, like-minded people. And so that's when the light bulb went off.
That's how it happened.
That's how it happened. Yeah, that's what I needed, is a place to meet, to gather, to conduct business, to print, to vibe, chat like we're doing right now, really. And that space wasn't available. So
I've been to your space a few times. I've attended an event. I've performed at an event.
You have.
I love the space. It's a great idea. And you're exactly right. Greeneville needs some space like that where people can gather, where people can drop in and take advantage of facilities or have a safe place to just relax and get some work done.
Yeah, relax, get some work done, create maybe. So that was... Hackler Hall was the space, and it was a whole bunch of TLC and a whole lot of, but again, it was the end goal was, the co-working space, the community. But the event center is also, the same vision as people meeting, gathering, celebrating, whether it's a conference or a dinner or, your music performing.
What was the moment? I know you said kind of the light bulb went off, but was there a particular moment where you realized, okay, it's time to act on this? Was there that moment, or was it kind of just this slow progression into stumbling into it?
I knew I needed to be in a building in the downtown area when I thought Greeneville needs co-working. But I knew that it would take time to get to co-working. I knew that was not something financially I could get in a space and be like, oh, I'm opening a co-working space. So it had to, it was a plan. It was like getting the space, but people always need a place to have a reception, to have a banquet. Yeah. And Greeneville needed that with parking. And I thought, okay, as soon as I can get a yes for a space, I'm going to take it no matter what. Even if it wasn't co-working, which was the end game, if I could secure the space and the place, I'll get there. But the moment was when that building became available. I was all on it.
Was there a moment, even when the building became available, was there a moment in the back of your head where you hesitated?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Like you're crazy. One of those things where you can't tell anybody because they're going to
tell you you're crazy.
But my personality is you can't, and this is what one of my mentors said, what is when someone asks you a question about, should I move forward with my business? And he says, if I can talk you out of it, it ain't in you, right?
Wow.
If I can talk you, he said, the first thing I do is I try to convince the person in front of me all the reasons why it's a bad idea. And if I'm successful, I'm not investing in that person.
That's brilliant.
It really is. It's good advice. And I knew no one can talk me out of it. I already decided what it was going to be. But again, if you share so much with everyone and it's all negative, you got to kind of protect your heart and your vision and your space until you get the momentum. And they're like, oh.
Whenever you decided you were going to take this venture, what is something that you didn't know then that you're well aware of now?
That there are people who will support and connect, in a meaningful way. I think sometimes, well, for me, I thought that, you're in this alone. If it's going to happen, like this is just you and your grit and your hard work and your da-da-da-da-da. But I think finding that there were people out there who were crazy just like me, who start businesses just because they get a yes or now they get in the building. And like there are people out there who make it work. And there are people who are working in partnerships. And there are people who have the same vision in community. And I think you and I talked about cohorts and accelerators and connecting with people. And I think that is vital.
Yeah.
Has been vital in my path forward. And even if it wasn't in Greeneville at first,
right.
Connecting with people who say, okay, you can do this, or this person's done it and they've been successful and I want to introduce you and I want you guys to have a relationship. So
I completely agree with that. I remember I was in college and I can't remember what class though, but I remember a conversation being had about kind of what are the most important things to keep forward facing when you're growing in your career. And one of my instructors told me that it's all about building relationships. And I heard that and I understood that, but several years removed from that now, I think that's what it's all about. Everything. I don't know that it's specific to any industry or anything. Right. It's all about relationships.
I agree.
And it seems like such an easy concept, right? But a lot of people have a hard time networking and meeting people. And, I'm incredibly outgoing. I love to chat with people, but sometimes, in a business setting, it's a little intimidating.
Very.
Especially if you're approaching someone, your senior, and, what do I say? How do I not make this awkward?
Yeah.
That's always what I'm thinking. How do I not make this awkward? But I think that's one thing that I love about kind of your story and what you've been doing with your business is you are so focused on the relationships.
Sure.
And it's clear that that's important because it's helping you thrive in what you're doing.
Right. And you have to nurture those relationships. And I'll say, if you don't come from money, or if you're behind the gun, or you've like me and you're going and it's going to work, there's plan A and there's plan B, stick with plan A. Service, Josh, I think is key. And what I would tell people in my journey is helping people achieve their goals, expecting nothing in return. It will come back around. Reaching out to people and saying, how can I help you? This is what I'm doing, but I just want to be around, working for free, volunteering. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you've got to look at it from a different angle. There are many pathways, but relationship building is right at the top. And what I can appreciate for people that I'm in partnership with is they make introductions. It's about connecting people who can move their vision forward in a tangible way, right? Because,
Sure.
and I fell into this trap too. Sometimes you find yourself networking and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just having really nice dinners. And
Yeah, it's like, what's the substance here?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
How is this moving the vision forward and knowing how to ask for something? And I think we talked about that as well. Like it has to be for something.
Yeah.
And that can be uncomfortable, right? But in playing the long game, help people first.
Yeah.
And it will come back around.
I'm really curious because I know that you're incredibly passionate about what you're doing. And I get that because I tend to lean toward that with my endeavors as well. How do you balance that drive and passion and keep yourself in check with the financial responsibilities and the reality of being an entrepreneur and having a business? Is there any kind of secret sauce to that balance of passion and staying grounded in reality?
Let me look at the camera and say, I haven't found it. Because and we talked about this the other day. Like I'm good at what I'm good at, right? Because I have the goal of community and I know I can help people and I know I can do that. But guess what? There's also accounts payable, accounts receivable. There's also all these things that have to happen as well. So I say the balance is connecting with people who are strong where you're weak. But the first step is admitting to yourself, I'm talking to me, that you can't do it all.
Yeah.
You cannot do it all. So the financial responsibility is like, who are my partners or who can I talk to that can help me with this? Who can guide me with systems? Who can, let me borrow their assistant for a couple of hours a week and we, are barter in some type of way. Now I'm not saying, that takes some time to get there, but you cannot do it all. I can't do it all. So the balance is a struggle. Right, especially when like Hackler Hall, and then you've maybe running the co-starters program, and then you've got to launch Hackler co-working. I mean, it's a lot. And then there's Carter, so it's overwhelming. So my advice is, I guess to answer your question, is I struggle with that balance because I want to get in there and get it done, but I need to be working on my business and not in it. Mm-hmm. So it's tough.
I'm familiar with co-working spaces and I'm a huge fan. I think they serve a vital role, especially in smaller communities, because, not everyone has an office.
Sure.
Not everyone has a place where they can take care of business.
Right.
24/7. So, but what I really want to get across, especially, from people in our town, let's talk to them about what co-working space is. We can do it from a wide angle lens, but kind of talk us through what that looks like, how that works, and maybe how people benefit from that.
Sure. Thank you for asking. So co-working has been the end game. Co-working, I think a lot of people believe that a co-working space is an office space where people go and work. What the difference is, or what Hackler co-working will be, is it is geared around community. So there is open floor plan seating. So if you want to just pop in and open your laptop and get some things done, there's Wi-Fi, there's coffee, there's printers,
restrooms.
There's big deal. Private offices if you need a private or a conference room. So, but I think it is an affordable way to work. And and in my journey, and when I moved back home, it's like, man, I need a space, but I don't need the large expenses of the lights and the water. And because brick and mortar is no joke, right?
Right.
So it's an affordable way for people to come together, whether you're an entrepreneur, a small business, a remote worker, freelancers. Maybe you want to shoot a podcast. But for Greeneville, and Greeneville is growing, there are remote workers here, a lot of remote workers in Greeneville.
Yeah.
So I want to have those people come in a space that's inviting, that promotes productivity, and where we can share ideas and help each other. So that's the jam. It's community. If you're coming there and you're a contractor, well, maybe I know such and such needs paint. Like, we're helping each other grow and build businesses and offer programs and webinars. Like, I want you to hear about what AI software worked for my small business in accounting or QuickBooks. So that's the difference. And it's going to help and encourage entrepreneurship and small business startups.
I think that's one of the best things about a co-working space is, I mean, yeah, obviously having the resources there for these people to use, but it's being able to come across all these other people who are small business owners, entrepreneurs, whatnot, and you start connecting with them, because you always want to put yourself in a place where maybe you'll meet someone new, and you never know how that person can help you.
Never know. Never know.
It
You're
can
right.
be something as subtle as you two are in the same building working on your own things, and you just strike up a conversation. And that's what I love. And
you mentioned, like you said, it's about relationship building. And that is, again, a space, a communal space where, I'm a small business owner, you're a small business owner, or maybe you work for a big corporation and you're a remote worker. Mm-hmm. But we're all there to help each other.
Everyone likes to talk about the wins, but what's been one of your biggest struggles once, you got your business established, you're moving it in the right direction, but if you think back over that time, what was one of the things that was kind of a huge hurdle for you?
Funding.
Preach.
Funding. I mean, I'm going to shoot you straight. Everyone needs, I'm going to say everyone needs, but it is a challenge to get things going. And so, again, with Hackler Co-working, and I remember pitching Hackler Co-working in Nashville and running through the numbers of what it takes to start up. So, for example, in Greene County, if you're going to start your business, good credit, bad credit, it doesn't matter, and you're in a commercial space, your utility deposit is based upon what the person did in the building before. So if it's $2,000 on an average of their utility, that's what it's going to be. And that's a big expense for a small business. And then your deposit for the space, or are you buying the space? And then security and cameras and locks. And before you know it, you're 8, 9, 10 grand in and you haven't opened the doors. So if you have a small business or you have an idea, that's a huge cost, right? And so in talking to people, and looking at the numbers of what it costs to get started, that is what I wanted people to understand who were in a position to help. It's like, hey, there's a lot of talent in Greeneville. Yeah. There are a lot of people moving to Greeneville, and it's a lot of opportunity, but this is what it costs to get started.
So to kind of piggyback off something you said, if someone in Greeneville has an idea, or they have something that they feel like they could bring to the community, where do they even begin?
That's a great question.
I think that, because I've looked into this as well, and there's not necessarily somewhere to go where there's a clear roadmap. And I don't even know where the starting line is.
Well, hopefully Hackler Co-working will serve that problem as well. Because you're right, Josh. I mean, if I'm starting a business, what I envision is there's a packet. Maybe you pick it up at the Greene County Partnership. Maybe you pick it up at Hackler Co-working, and it is a list of, this is what you want to do. These are the ways you can or may not structure your business. But visit Hackler Co-working the third Friday of each month to hear from, our professional on how to move it forward. I want to offer programming webinars to move it forward, but more or less really a checklist or where do you start or the classes, because I remember in my journey, it started, I think, at the Small Business Development SBA, which there's not an office in Greeneville, but I connected with Mr. David Graham. I think he's out of Johnson City or Kingsport. But again, maybe a space or place, again, insert Hackler Co-working, where you can talk to a real live person who is a professional, a counselor, to move you forward step by step.
It's kind of crazy to think that we've made it this far without a checklist. I mean, I'm kind of a process guy. I need to check the boxes and I need the steps.
Because you're going to miss them. I miss some things. But yeah, there should be a checklist. And I think we had this discussion with the Main Street Greeneville board. They're a great organization, and they serve, I think it's 18 blocks of the downtown area. And that was what does Greene County need? That was my suggestion. Like, we need a checklist, a box, people to connect with, to contact on how to move your business forward.
Well, Kathrine, I appreciate you coming. I do want to pivot really fast right before we sign off. I want to ask you a fun question.
Okay.
You don't know what's coming.
I don't know.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Heck, I might even ask two. Who knows? So the first question, you ready?
Yes.
If you could pick one breakfast cereal that is the best of all time, what would you pick?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
There you go. God, so good.
Ian Carter's favorite.
I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch just to eat it out of the box.
Yeah, like you can just
I don't even.
You don't even have to have milk. It's that good.
Listen, I'm gonna embarrass myself a little bit. I'm so lazy at this age of my life that I'll just dump it into like a cup and I just walk around it.
Hey.
When people are saying your name and talking about you in the community, what's one thing that you hope they're saying?
She has really created a great space. Kathrine has really pulled it off. Like, Kathrine has a space. I'm the lady with the space,
Yeah.
Meet, gather, celebrate, work, connect, create. I mean, it's in my brain, it translates just an inclusive experience for people. Whatever you're working, you're building relationships, you're partnering, like that's gets me to smiling.
Well, I do know this. You've made a tremendous impact on several people in the community. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank
I appreciate you investing into our hometown.
Thank you.
I know that it comes with challenges, like
Yes.
any town.
Huge challenges.
But it's really encouraging to see someone like you, overcoming a lot of that and being able to be successful with it.
Yeah.
Not just overcoming, but being successful with it. So I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for
This was
having me.
fun. Thank you all so much for listening. Check us out at afiadvisors.com. Follow us on all of our social channels, and we'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bullseye Podcast. Do you want to sponsor the show or maybe even be a guest? Contact us at connect@afiadvisors.com to get the conversation started. Thank you for all of the continued support.